Kunal's also ready. Kunal, all-time high this week, and then if markets hit an all-time high, will that be a breakout moment for Reliance, Axis Bank, ICICI Bank, maybe an Infosys, the stocks which are in hibernation, or an all-time high in a sense will push mid and small cap stocks more higher?
I think it's going to be the first part more. I would believe that large cap should start to participate. We've seen flashes of signs, Nikunj, in the last couple of trading sessions. So previous week, I think mid of previous week is where we saw Reliance picking a comeback. You've seen PSU banks, for example, on Friday, bouncing off from their previous major swing lows. Many underperforming sectors as well as stocks are starting to make a comeback again. We've seen that happening in the last couple of days, and that's a very strong ingredient that we could probably be going into a phase where the large caps would start to participate as well as start to fire up. Even the likes of Infosys and TCS saw good recovery on Friday's trading session. So I think all in all, I believe that the sentiment for the large caps should start to improve. Now, the most important feature is the India VIX, because we've seen historically that whenever the India VIX has gone to that 10 to 10.5 odd band, and we are now nearing probably a 10-year low for the India VIX on closing basis, which is I think around 10.4 levels. And we've seen that happen, that whenever that happens, we've seen the indices get into a free-flowing uptrend, which lasts for many months on a trot. And by percentage gains, we think we've seen more than 10 to 15% rise on the index post that happening. So I believe that the uptrend is here to sustain. We are not just looking at a possible or a potential break of the new high for the index, but more of a sustaining of the previous new highs for the index.
Nooresh Merani, looks like we'll make an all-time high today or tomorrow. After we make an all-time high, do you think this market will sustain? Do you think this market will bulls will get a spring in their stride?
So I would say the heavyweights could get a pickup. So on a new high, we should see more momentum on the heavyweights. Over the last couple of weeks, the small caps and the mid caps, a lot of markets have continued in momentum. So it is the heavyweights which needs a pickup and a push. So the view is we go towards that 18,800, 900 mark. And if we see that happening with a couple of names taking the momentum, say for example, Reliance Industries has moved up. If we see a ICICI Bank move up or a FMCG name or IT bounce back, we could see much higher levels on the Nifty as well. So the expectation is a new high should give a fillip to the large cap heavyweights rather than the mid caps and small caps.
Yeah, and that participation from large cap has been missing, right? So that's par for the course. But what about Nifty Bank? It made that life high level of around 44,500 thereabouts. But since then, it's cooled off materially. Is that going to be the case for Nifty? And what about Bank Nifty itself? What are the levels you're watching?
So if you look at the indices, the Bank Nifty, the problem is, say 25% of the index is HDFC Bank, another 23-25% is ICICI Bank. For the last 2 weeks, both the stocks have gone nowhere. And add to it, you have another 10% coming from Kotak Mahindra Bank. So these three heavyweights, which are the major part of the index, have seen zero trend and zero momentum. Say 930, 940 is where ICICI gets stuck. So if we see any of them break out, once we are above 950, 960 on ICICI, that is the one which could trigger the upside. So the bias is positive, waiting for stocks to actually give that recovery. We've seen a correction enough in HDFC Bank as well as Kotak Bank. They're closer to supports. But ICICI Bank could be a surprise on the upside, wherein if the stock breaks out of this range of 930, 960, could actually make a big move. So overall would be positive on Bank Nifty, would be actually looking out to buy on the way up going forward.